myself set up. Ooh, wow, that was loud, wasn't it? There we go. Alrighty, good afternoon everyone. Dominique here from Body Mind Fitness. I hope you are having a wonderful afternoon. So I just got into the studio not too long ago after a little break in the afternoon for my own little self-care. And I'm back in studio now, just prepping up and waiting for tonight's classes. So I had a question come to me via Instagram regarding, do I have to retrain my core and pelvic floor? That was the exact wording on it. So the answer is you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. However, do know that when you retrain and take the time, and this person specifically was talking about postpartum, when you take the time to retrain your pelvic floor, after you've had a baby, you will not experience the types of symptoms that you are going to have that people always talk about, such as peeing in your pants, or risk of diastasis recti, pelvic organ prolapse, things that sort of come up, whether it's during pregnancy or after. So it's really, really, really important to make sure that all of those things are safe and secure before you return to your heavy weightlifting. For me personally, I still sometimes feel when I transition to heavier weightlifting, that's not what I do all the time, but there are certain phases where I go into those really, really heavy weights so I can build my strength within those phases. And I can honestly say that even though I've been doing this for a while, I know what I'm doing, I still get caught up in my own exercises. So sometimes I feel pressure on my pelvic floor when I'm doing a squat with a lot of weight on my back. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a lot of weight. I'm trying to think of what I did last time. I think it was about 65 pounds, and I had just transitioned to that 65, and I didn't quite get my breathing pattern right. I went back to my regular old, starting to breathe out halfway back up from my squat, which I thought I had gotten out of my system, but clearly I had not. But when I start having other things on my mind, like thinking about my position, thinking about, my posture, thinking is my ribcage stacked over my pelvis, eventually something's got to give. Something goes, and in that particular case, it was my breathing pattern, so I didn't have that support in my pelvic floor as I was coming up, which is to say, when you exhale, the pelvic floor naturally lifts with your diaphragm, and it creates a little bit of support within the pelvic floor. So without this, I was squatting, and then I was coming up, and I was holding my breath, and that breath wants to go somewhere. It wants to go somewhere. So where does it start trying to go? In the weakest places within your body. So pelvic floor, linea alba. Those are the two places typically air wants to escape. So that's why those areas can sometimes become problematic. Yes, diastasis recti does occur during pregnancy in 100% of pregnancies by the 37th week. However, it doesn't mean it's stuck like that forever. This happens naturally. The linea alba softens during pregnancy to create space for your growing belly. This is what happens. This is ways to get around actually stretching out the abdominals themselves. So instead it goes after this soft tissue. If we're too quick to get back into things, we're not going to give that linea alba a chance to remember how to create tension within it and remember how to be strong. It remains in that weakened state. And then when we create that pressure, it continues to get weaker and weaker over time. So that's where the symptoms of diastasis recti that then turn into something a little bit more serious come into play, because your linea alba can't create that tension to help support that abdominal pressure that's being created by the air that you're holding in your body. So, like I said, at the end of the day, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but when you come to me and you want to retrain your pelvic floor, we have to start at the bare basics. We need to take a step back. We start with soft tissue release to make sure we get some of those kinks out of your body. We practice a lot of breathing at the beginning. So usually we get about half of your program done around the beginning, because we're making sure that all of these little things are lined up. But at the same time, I don't want to be throwing so much information at you that you don't know, that you're kind of getting lost within that thing, in the same way that I kind of get lost in my own thoughts within that squat position. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to go back to lifting heavy really quick? Do you want to get back into a certain size, a certain weight that you find is ideal as quickly as you can? Or do you want to take the time to make sure you are functioning properly? I'm the functioning girl. I want to make sure that you are squatting, deadlifting, whatever you want to do with 0 symptoms, as much to my ability as I can. I want to make sure that if you want to go to the trampoline park with your kids and jump till your heart's content, that you don't need to worry about wearing a maxi pad or anything else in case you might have an accident. You do not have to live with this. You do not have to live in a world where you have to worry about these things. So if any of this sounds remotely interesting to you whatsoever, do keep in mind that you get a free goal and mobility assessment. So this is kind of a two-way street when you're starting off your private yoga sessions or personal training with me, where we get to kind of interview each other. You get to see if you mesh with my vibe. I get to see if I can provide the support that you need, because at the end of the day, if we're not both happy in this relationship, it's going to kind of cut into your goals. And I want to make sure that we get to your goals as quickly as possible while putting your function first and then getting to those more aesthetic goals if that's the route you would like to take. So you can always head over to my website, book your free goal and mobility assessment today. I'm going to throw that link into the bio. Yeah, I'm not on Instagram. I'm on Facebook right now. I will throw the link into the little description box, or actually into the comments is where I'll do it. And you can set up that free goal and mobility assessment, and let's see what we can do to help you alleviate some of those symptoms when it comes to movement and exercise. Do keep in mind though, I always recommend that you visit your friendly neighborhood pelvic floor physiotherapist. It's always, always, always going to be so beneficial to you. Even one appointment will be life-changing. So if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, throw them in the comment box or slide into my DMs, and I will talk to you later. Have an amazing day. See you soon.